Force yourself to organize your life. Don't wait for motivation. Create it through discipline. The power you seek lies not in random bursts of effort, but in consistent, structured action. You cannot climb mountains while your mind is drowning in disorder. Begin small. Organize your space, your time, your thoughts. Each act of order strengthens your control over destiny. When you master your routine, you master your reality. Understand this truth. Disorganized people dream. Organized people achieve. The difference between a struggler and a conqueror is not talent, but system. When your days are planned, your goals prioritized, and your environment built for productivity, you become unstoppable. The weak wait for inspiration. The strong create systems that generate it. Force yourself to plan. Force yourself to act on schedule. Force yourself to maintain order when your emotions resist it. Every time you conquer laziness with structure, you sharpen your edge. Every time you bring order to chaos, you elevate your power. Success belongs to the one who can command himself, who can direct his time like a weapon. Do not mistake freedom for lack of control. Real freedom is the result of absolute order. When your life is organized, you move with calm confidence. You think clearly, act precisely, and live intentionally. The scattered man loses years chasing fragments of his own energy. The organized man compresses decades into days. So rise and rebuild your order. Clear the mess, both outside and inside. Create routines so strong that failure becomes impossible. Control your time before it controls you. Do what you must, not what you feel. Because when you force yourself to organize your life, you stop surviving and start conquering. The power to dominate your destiny begins the moment you bring structure to your chaos and refuse to let anything remain out of place. Chaos kills progress. Order multiplies it. The undisciplined mind is a battlefield where dreams are slaughtered by distractions. Every time you let your day slip into disorder, every time you allow confusion to take control, you destroy a piece of your own potential. Success cannot breathe in chaos. It suffocates in scattered thoughts and wasted hours. If you want power, clarity, and growth, you must first bring order to your life. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. Because every second you live without structure is a second stolen from your destiny. Look around you. The people who rise are not always the most gifted. They are the most organized. They know what they must do, when they must do it, and how they must do it. They plan their day, guard their time, and protect their focus like a treasure. Meanwhile, those who drift through life hoping things will somehow work out are crushed by their own disorder. The truth is painful but simple. You either organize your life or your disorganization organizes your failure. Order is not a small habit. It's the foundation of achievement. Without it, everything collapses. You cannot think clearly in a room of chaos. You cannot dream big in a schedule filled with noise. And you cannot rise when your days are spent reacting instead of directing. Structure gives power. It turns random effort into measurable results. It transforms scattered energy into unstoppable momentum. When you know what matters and you act on it daily, your life becomes a force of precision. Discipline is the bridge between chaos and control. You must train yourself to command your actions even when your emotions rebel. The lazy voice in your head that says, "I'll do it later," is the same voice that keeps you ordinary. You silence it not by arguing but by acting, immediately, decisively, relentlessly. The more you enforce order on yourself, the more power you gain over your circumstances. The man who can direct his time can direct his fate. You cannot build an empire on a foundation of cluttered thoughts and half-done tasks. Every great mind, every leader, every success story you admire was born from structure. They planned their days, controlled their environment, and moved with intent. They understood that consistency breeds power. Even when passion fades, discipline carries you forward. Order keeps you walking long after excitement dies. It's not about being perfect. It's about being precise. Ask yourself, how much time do you waste because of disorganization? How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you weren't ready, because your mind was scattered, because your focus was buried under trivial distractions? You can't win battles when your sword is misplaced. You can't achieve greatness when your mind is cluttered. The unorganized person is always one step behind, not because they're less capable, but because they're unprepared. The future doesn't wait for the unprepared. Force yourself to take control. Organize your surroundings until they reflect clarity. A clean space is not just about aesthetics. It's a signal to your brain that you are in command. Plan your day before the day begins. Make structure your shield against procrastination. When you live by design, not by default, you become unshakable. Your priorities align, your purpose sharpens, and your life gains rhythm. That rhythm, that steady march of order, is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Do not underestimate the power of small, organized habits. Waking up on time, maintaining a written plan, finishing what you start. These actions may seem simple, but they build a fortress of strength within you. Each day of order reinforces self-respect. Each moment of structure sharpens your mind. You begin to feel a sense of control that chaos could never offer. You stop reacting to life and start commanding it. The disorganized live in constant stress because their life is a storm they refuse to calm. But when you create order, peace follows. Clarity brings confidence. You move faster, decide sharper, and think deeper. Suddenly you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You are the architect of them. That is the true power of organization. It makes you the master of your moments. There will be resistance. Your emotions will fight you. Your habits will tempt you. Your comfort will whisper lies. But you must force yourself. Order is forged in discomfort. Every time you choose structure over impulse, you build strength. Every time you plan and execute, you prove to yourself that you are in control. That's how power grows, through deliberate consistency. Never forget, chaos doesn't just waste your time, it steals your destiny. It keeps you distracted, confused, and weak. But order multiplies your energy, magnifies your focus, and accelerates your growth. It is the secret language of success. The difference between a struggler and a conqueror is not talent, but system, not emotion, but execution. So stand up and take charge. Don't let another day fall into the hands of disorder. Organize your mind, your space, your habits, your mission. Build structure so strong that no storm can shake it. When you control your time, you control your life. When you bring order to chaos, you bring purpose to existence. Chaos kills progress, but order multiplies it. And the moment you live by that truth, nothing on earth can stop your rise. Discipline is the foundation of power. Without it, talent rusts, potential dies, and dreams collapse under the weight of inconsistency. Every strong man, every victorious soul, every story of greatness begins with one truth. Discipline decides destiny. It's the invisible force that shapes weak intentions into unstoppable execution. You can wish, you can hope, you can dream all you want, but until you build the discipline to act regardless of emotion, your power will remain buried beneath excuses. Discipline is not a word, it's a weapon, the weapon that separates those who achieve from those who almost did. You must understand nothing in life bends to the lazy. The world does not reward those who wait for the perfect mood or ideal moment. Power belongs to the one who shows up when it's hard, who moves forward when the mind screams to stop. That's discipline. Doing what must be done even when the fire of motivation is gone. It's easy to work when you're inspired. It means nothing. True strength is revealed when you act without feeling like it. When your body is tired, your emotions are heavy, yet you still move. That's when you become powerful. Discipline builds respect, first from yourself, then from the world. When you keep promises to yourself, even the smallest ones, you begin to trust your own word. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop delaying your greatness. Every time you conquer the urge to quit, you forge another link in the chain of strength that holds your life together. Discipline is the quiet architect behind every victory. It's not loud. It doesn't seek applause. It works silently in the background, turning chaos into control and potential into progress. Most people lose not because they lack ability, but because they lack order. They live by emotion, not by decision. One day they're on fire, the next they're cold. They let moods rule actions, and in doing so, they surrender their power. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It demands consistency. It teaches you that emotions are temporary, but commitment is eternal. You can't build empires with soft habits. You can't master life when you keep obeying your comfort zone. Comfort is the enemy of greatness, and discipline is the cure. You must train your mind to obey you. Discipline begins in thought before it touches action. When the alarm rings, your mind will whisper 5 more minutes. Crush that voice. When your body aches and your goals feel far away, your mind will say, rest today. Crush that voice. Every time you say no to weakness, you grow stronger. Every time you rise when it's easier to stay down, you expand your power. Greatness is not given to the emotional. It is earned by the disciplined. Discipline is freedom disguised as restriction. It looks like control, but it's liberation. The man who cannot control himself is a slave to laziness, to distraction, to fear. But the man who can command his mind, his habits, his time, he becomes unstoppable. When you live with discipline, you are no longer pulled by temptation. You are guided by purpose. You gain peace because your path is clear. You waste no time because every moment serves your mission. That is true freedom. Not doing whatever you want, but mastering the strength to do what you must. There is no shortcut to greatness. Every successful person you admire, every story of transformation, stands on the same foundation, relentless discipline. The athlete trains long after others sleep. The builder works through fatigue. The visionary stays focused while the world is distracted. They are not superhuman, they are simply consistent. They understand that repetition builds reputation, that steady effort builds unshakable results. Discipline is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. When you live with discipline, you start to see life differently. You stop chasing quick rewards and begin investing in long-term power. You stop reacting and start directing. You no longer ask, can I do this? You declare, I will do this. Your time becomes sacred, your actions deliberate, your energy precious. The undisciplined man wastes his strength on what doesn't matter. The disciplined man channels his strength into what builds empires. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You will stumble. You will fail. But discipline teaches you to stand again without hesitation. Every failure becomes feedback. Every obstacle becomes training. Discipline hardens your spirit and sharpens your focus. It makes you immune to excuses, immune to weakness. The more you practice it, the more you realize it's not punishment, it's preparation. Every early morning, every hard choice, every sacrifice is building something greater inside you. Character, control, and confidence. When you master discipline, you no longer need motivation. You move because movement has become your nature. You act because you've trained your mind to obey purpose, not emotion. That's when you become dangerous, when your actions are no longer dependent on how you feel, but on who you are. The disciplined mind is unshakable, and the unshakable always rise. So force yourself to be disciplined. No one will do it for you. Life doesn't hand success to the soft-hearted. It gives it to those who demand it through consistency. Cut out distractions. Organize your time. Build habits that align with your mission. Keep your word even when no one is watching. Be your own commander. Because discipline is not just the foundation of power, it is power itself. When you possess it, you can achieve anything, overcome everything, and become unstoppable in everything you do. Every minute wasted in disorder is a dream delayed. Time is the most ruthless currency of life. It doesn't stop, it doesn't wait, and it never refunds what you waste. Every moment of distraction, every hour spent in confusion, every day without structure quietly, robs you of the future you claim to want. You may not see it happening, but it's there. Your dreams growing colder while you scroll, your purpose fading while you delay, your potential dying beneath the weight of your own disorganization. The truth is brutal. Every second that slips into chaos moves your destiny further away. And the worst part? You'll never get those seconds back. Disorder is not harmless. It's a silent killer of ambition. It doesn't strike suddenly. It drains you slowly. One missed task becomes two, one postponed goal becomes a habit, and soon you wake up surrounded by unfinished plans and lost time. You start blaming circumstances, but the enemy isn't around you. It's within you. The lack of structure, the failure to prioritize, the acceptance of confusion, these are the reasons your dreams remain dreams. Every minute you spend without direction adds another brick to the wall between you and your destiny. You must face it. Disorder is weakness disguised as comfort. It allows you to feel busy while achieving nothing. It keeps you in motion but away from progress. You tell yourself you're working hard, but deep down you know it's just chaos wearing a mask of productivity. The difference between successful people and those who only wish for success is not luck, not intelligence, but structure. The organized mind turns time into a tool. The disorganized mind turns time into an enemy. Every dream demands a price, and that price is discipline. You can't hold on to your vision while clinging to disorder. You can't build a future with scattered focus. You must learn to take control of your schedule, your surroundings, your thoughts. Each minute you master brings you closer to your goal. Each minute wasted pushes it further away. Time respects those who respect order. When you plan your day with intention, when you guard your focus like a treasure, you move with power. But when you let your day control you, when you live in chaos, you become a slave to distraction. Look at the patterns of your life. How many of your dreams have been delayed because you weren't ready? Because you didn't organize your plan, your priorities, or your path? How many chances slipped away because your life was in disorder when opportunity knocked? You can't expect success to wait for you to get your life together. It moves fast, and only the prepared can catch it. Every minute you spend getting organized is an investment in your future. Every minute you spend in confusion is a debt you'll pay later with regret. Disorder makes you reactive. You spend your time putting out fires instead of building empires. You chase emergencies instead of executing priorities. You feel tired, but it's not physical exhaustion. It's mental chaos. The mind that's cluttered cannot create. The spirit that's scattered cannot rise. When your thoughts are disorganized, your actions lose direction and your energy leaks through 1,000 small distractions. But when you bring order to your life, everything changes. Your focus sharpens. Your energy multiplies. You stop chasing and start commanding. The truth is, success is built in order. Every great achievement is born from structure, not spontaneity. The disciplined man plans his hours. The undisciplined man wastes them. The organized person owns time. The disorganized one is owned by it. You can't blame fate for the results of your confusion. The world belongs to those who plan, prepare, and execute with precision. That's not control, that's creation. If you want power, create order. Begin with your space, clean it, simplify it, make it reflect clarity. Then move to your time. Plan your days before they begin. Protect your mornings. End your nights with review. When you live by design, not by accident, you start to feel alive again. You start to see progress because your energy is finally aligned with your direction. That alignment is what transforms wasted minutes into milestones of success. Understand this, the clock is always running. Every minute is either an investment or a loss. The ones who rise are not those who have more time, they are those who manage it with precision. The same 24 hours that build a millionaire also build a failure. The difference is order. The successful use minutes as soldiers, sending each one into battle with purpose. The lost let minutes drift like leaves in the wind. You decide which side you're on every single day, so stop giving time to chaos. Stop surrendering to distraction. Stop delaying your life because you refuse to organize it. Power belongs to the one who can control his minutes, because minutes become hours, hours become days, and days become destiny. When you waste a day, you don't lose 24 hours. You lose the opportunity to move closer to the life you were meant to build. Every minute wasted in disorder is a dream delayed, and one day you'll wake up and realize that your dream didn't die, you just never made time for it. Don't let that happen. Order your thoughts, order your space, order your actions. Discipline your hours as if they were diamonds, because they are. Time is the currency of greatness, and only those who spend it wisely ever buy freedom. From this moment forward, let no minute be wasted. Turn chaos into control, confusion into clarity, and hesitation into execution. Because when you master your time, you master your life. And when your life is in order, your dreams no longer wait, they arrive. Your environment mirrors your mind. Clean one, strengthen the other. Look around you right now. The space you live in, the desk you work at, the clothes scattered, the dust collecting, it all speaks louder than you think. Your surroundings are not just physical. They are a reflection of your internal world. A cluttered room reveals a cluttered mind. A disordered space exposes a distracted spirit. And when your environment is chaotic, it feeds that chaos back into you, stealing focus, draining energy, and suffocating motivation. You cannot expect clarity in life when you're surrounded by confusion. You cannot expect peace while living in disorder. If you want to sharpen your thoughts, begin by cleansing the space that holds them. When you clean your environment, you are not just moving objects, you are moving energy. You are creating space for growth, for focus, for peace. The act of organization is not about neatness, it's about power. Every item in your space carries weight. Every unnecessary object is a small distraction whispering for your attention. You may not notice it, but it's there, tugging at your mind, keeping you restless. When you eliminate the unnecessary, when you create order, your thoughts begin to align, your focus deepens, your confidence strengthens. You start to breathe differently because the chaos around you no longer commands your attention. A disorganized environment breeds procrastination. It becomes the silent excuse behind every delayed action. You tell yourself you'll start when things feel right, but things never feel right because your surroundings constantly feed disorder back into your soul. The environment you live in either empowers your ambition or sabotages it. When you walk into a space that's clean, focused, and calm, your mind mirrors that energy. You think sharper, you act faster, you feel lighter. But when you walk into a mess, your mind sinks under invisible weight. Thoughts blur, emotions dull, and your spirit slows. The environment you create is a declaration of who you are. It tells the world and yourself whether you live with control or surrender to chaos. The greatest performers, thinkers, and leaders in history understood this truth. They guarded their environment like it was sacred because it was. They knew that their surroundings were not just where they lived. It was where their destiny was shaped. Every wall, every item, every piece of space carried energy, and that energy could either build or break them. If your goal is clarity, if your mission is strength, you must start by aligning your environment with your intentions. Clean the desk, throw out the junk, organize your time, your tools, your space. Don't wait for motivation, create it through motion. When your surroundings begin to reflect discipline, your mind will follow. The act of cleaning is an act of self-respect. You are telling yourself, I deserve clarity, I deserve control, I deserve peace. Think of how you feel after organizing a space. There's a sense of lightness, calm, and renewal. That's not coincidence. That's your mind responding to order. Humans are wired to thrive in environments that support focus and simplicity. The fewer distractions your eyes see, the more space your mind has to think. Every clean corner becomes a source of mental energy. Every bit of order reinforces control, and every act of tidying builds momentum toward mastery. But don't stop at physical space. Your environment is also the people you surround yourself with, the words you hear, the energy you allow. If your circle is toxic, if your conversations are negative, if your atmosphere is draining, it doesn't matter how clean your desk is, your mental environment is still polluted. Protect your peace. Distance yourself from anything or anyone that keeps you small, that fills your air with doubt or drama. You can't build a powerful mind in a weak environment. Your phone, your notifications, your digital world, they are part of your environment too. The clutter on your screen is just as dangerous as the clutter in your room. Every unnecessary notification, every endless scroll, every meaningless piece of noise is robbing your focus. Clean your digital world with the same discipline. Unsubscribe from distractions. Organize your workspace. Remove what doesn't serve your growth. Every simplification adds another layer of strength to your mental clarity. Understand this deeply. Your environment is your silent coach. It either pushes you forward or pulls you backward. You cannot rise in a space that drags your energy down. The moment you take control of your environment, you reclaim authority over your mind. You stop reacting to chaos and start commanding your surroundings to serve your purpose. You become deliberate, every object in its place, every task in order, every moment directed toward growth. Clean your environment, and you will feel your thoughts sharpen. You will notice how much calmer, more creative, and more focused you become. It's not magic. It's cause and effect. Order outside creates order inside. It's a reflection of discipline, and discipline is power. When you live in alignment with order, distractions lose their grip and procrastination loses its excuses. You start to operate with precision. You start to feel unstoppable. So look around you. Is your environment helping you rise or holding you back? Does it reflect your goals or your confusion? Change it now. Clear what doesn't belong. Simplify until every inch of your space feels like it was built for progress. Don't wait for motivation. Let order create it. Clean your space. Clear your digital life. Align your surroundings with your dreams. Because your environment is not just where you live, it's where your future is being built. And when your environment is clean, your mind becomes strong, your purpose becomes sharper, and your path becomes unstoppable. Your environment mirrors your mind. Clean one, and you strengthen the other until both reflect the greatness you were born to live. No great destiny was ever built on confusion. Confusion destroys direction, and without direction, even the strongest desire collapses. You can have all the talent, all the dreams, all the ambition in the world, but if your mind is scattered, your purpose becomes powerless. Confusion is the fog that blinds ambition, the storm that drowns discipline, the quiet destroyer of destiny. The truth is simple. You cannot rise while you're lost in uncertainty. You cannot conquer when your thoughts pull you in 10 different directions. Every great destiny begins with clarity, and clarity is born from order, focus, and decision. The confused mind hesitates, and hesitation is the death of progress. Every time you pause because you don't know where to start, you give fear a chance to take control. Every time you second-guess yourself, you lose momentum. Confusion paralyzes action, and action is the only bridge between vision and reality. You must understand that confusion is not an external problem. It is a reflection of internal disorder. The more scattered your thoughts, the weaker your decisions. The weaker your decisions, the slower your progress. Confusion is not harmless. It is the slow erosion of greatness. Clarity is power. When your vision is clear, your energy becomes focused. You stop wasting time chasing every opportunity and start building the one that truly matters. A confused person works hard but moves nowhere. They mistake motion for progress, effort for direction. They are busy but unproductive, active but unfocused. You can't build a legacy while spinning in circles. Progress doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters with precision and purpose. You must train your mind to see through the fog. Confusion thrives in indecision, and indecision is a choice to stay weak. Decide what you want. Decide who you must become to get it. Decide what must go, what must stay, and what must never distract you again. Every great destiny was built by someone who dared to make decisions even when the path was unclear. They didn't wait for perfect certainty. They created clarity through action. Clarity doesn't come before movement, it comes because of it. The confused man waits for signs, the focused man creates them. The confused mind seeks approval, the focused mind seeks progress. You will never build greatness by waiting for things to make sense. You make them make sense by moving forward. Every step you take, every plan you execute, every failure you learn from carves clarity out of chaos. Confusion fades when you commit to motion. Your environment, your habits, your circle, they all influence the level of confusion you carry. Surround yourself with noise and your thoughts will echo it. Live in disorder and your mind will mirror it. The more you consume without direction, the more lost you'll become. Limit what enters your mind. Protect your mental space like a fortress. Every distraction, every pointless conversation, every wasted hour feeds confusion. If you want clarity, starve the noise. Focus is the antidote to confusion. When your focus is sharp, everything unnecessary becomes invisible. You start to see exactly what must be done and who you must be to do it. You stop chasing multiple goals and start mastering one. That's how destinies are built, not through scattered effort, but through concentrated power. Every great achiever, every builder of empires, every world changer operated with clarity of purpose. They knew what they wanted, why they wanted it, and how to get there. That clarity gave them strength. That strength gave them results. Confusion weakens you because it divides your attention. The divided mind cannot create. The fragmented soul cannot conquer. Power only exists where focus lives. The moment you simplify your direction, your life accelerates. When you decide, you remove doubt. When you remove doubt, you make space for conviction. Conviction is the fire that burns confusion to ashes. It gives you the courage to act even when the path is not perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to know your next step. That's where clarity starts, with movement, not perfection. When you take one clear action, the next step reveals itself. But if you stay still, waiting for complete understanding, you'll remain trapped in the fog of hesitation. Life rewards the decisive. The universe moves for the man who knows what he wants. Confusion also comes from trying to please everyone. You cannot walk 10 paths at once. You cannot live by the expectations of others and still build your own destiny. Decide whose voice matters. Decide what truly aligns with your vision. When your life becomes a reflection of your own choices, not others' demands, your mind becomes free. And in that freedom, clarity thrives. No great destiny was ever built on confusion because greatness requires precision. You can't build an empire with shaky hands. You can't shape your future while second-guessing your every move. Confusion wastes energy that should be spent on execution. It makes you tired, anxious, and slow. But once you choose clarity, you move with strength. You wake up with purpose. You sleep with peace. You stop wandering and start building. So cut through the fog. Stop trying to figure everything out at once. Simplify your goals. Organize your path. Remove distractions. Trust your decisions. Take action, review, adjust, and move again. That's how clarity grows. Through courage, not comfort. No great destiny was ever built on confusion, because confusion is the language of the lost. But order, focus, and conviction, those are the languages of kings, builders, and warriors. The moment you silence confusion and replace it with clarity, you ignite power. You begin to move with purpose, act with confidence, and build with direction. You no longer drift, you dominate. The confused hope for change, the clear create it. And when you live with clarity, your destiny is no longer a distant dream. It becomes an inevitable reality. Organization is not control. It's creation with direction. It's not about restraining your life. It's about designing it with precision and purpose. People mistake organization for limitation. They think structure kills freedom, but in truth, it's the opposite. Real freedom begins where chaos ends. Organization gives your energy a path, your time a mission, and your actions a rhythm that builds momentum. It doesn't cage your potential, it channels it. Without direction, creation becomes confusion. Without structure, even passion burns out. You can't build greatness from scattered effort. You build it from focused execution, one deliberate step at a time. When you organize your life, you're not trying to control every outcome. You're shaping the environment that allows your best self to emerge. Order gives birth to creativity. When your mind is clear, your surroundings aligned, and your schedule disciplined, new ideas flow effortlessly. Chaos chokes inspiration. A cluttered space breeds a cluttered mind, but a structured life gives your imagination room to breathe. You begin to see patterns, opportunities, and solutions that confusion once buried. Order doesn't limit creativity, it amplifies it. The undisciplined often call the organized rigid, but they don't understand that organization is the foundation of mastery. The greatest artists, thinkers, and innovators all lived by a system, not because they feared chaos, but because they understood that control of time is control of destiny. The painter who organizes his tools doesn't lose freedom. He gains the power to express without delay. The leader who plans his day doesn't lose spontaneity. He ensures that every spontaneous act leads toward purpose. Organization is not a prison, it's a map. It tells your effort where to go so it never gets lost. Most people drift through life reacting instead of creating. They wake up without a plan, they move without intention, and they end their days wondering where their time went. That's not living. That's surviving. The organized individual doesn't hope for progress, he builds it. He wakes up with direction. He moves with precision. Every task, every action, every habit aligns with a larger vision. That alignment creates unstoppable force. It turns ordinary hours into bricks that build empires. Organization gives you control over what you can and peace over what you can't. It eliminates unnecessary decisions and mental noise. When you plan your day, you free your mind to focus on what truly matters. You stop wasting energy on trivial chaos. The disorganized mind is always exhausted, not because it works harder, but because it leaks energy through confusion. Organization seals those leaks. It turns scattered effort into concentrated beam of power. That focus is what separates dreamers from achievers. To organize your life is to respect your potential. You are saying to yourself, my time matters, my dreams matter, my direction matters. You are building a system that supports your greatness instead of suffocating it. Systems create consistency, and consistency creates momentum. Every morning planned, every goal written, every step tracked, it all compounds into progress that feels unstoppable. Organization is not the death of passion. It's the discipline that keeps passion alive long after emotion fades. The unorganized person lives in reaction, constantly adjusting, constantly overwhelmed. They run out of time, not because the day is short, but because their direction is blurred. They confuse motion with progress. They are always busy but rarely effective. But the organized person creates flow. They move through their day with calm strength. They are not rushing, not panicking, because their structure handles the weight that confusion once carried. That is true peace, not stillness, but balance in movement. Every great destiny is written through systems. The champion trains on schedule. The entrepreneur builds routines that sustain focus. The visionary plans before he performs. These habits do not restrict them, they liberate them. The mind that knows when, how, and why to act is a weapon sharper than any talent. Organization builds reliability, and reliability builds trust in yourself and from others. People follow those who move with clarity. Opportunities come to those who are ready. Organization prepares you for both. To live without order is to live in constant repetition of mistakes. Confusion repeats cycles because it never learns. But the organized mind reviews, refines, and rises. It measures progress, tracks lessons, and evolves with purpose. It's not about being perfect. It's about being deliberate. Every small system you create, from how you start your day to how you end your night, is a step toward mastery. The power of order lies not in complexity, but in consistency. Remember, organization is not about control. It's about creation with direction. Control is fear-based. It tries to restrict. Creation with direction is power-based. It expands. You're not organizing to trap yourself in routines. You're organizing to design your future with precision. You're taking the chaos of life and turning it into harmony. You're turning every hour into progress, every effort into impact, every day into momentum. When your life becomes organized, you no longer waste energy wondering what to do next. You know your purpose, your plan, your path. That clarity allows you to live with intensity. You stop scattering your effort and start magnifying it. You move from noise to music, from chaos to composition, from surviving to creating. So build your systems, plan your hours, structure your goals. Don't let disorganization masquerade as freedom. True freedom is the ability to move with purpose, not confusion. When your energy is aligned with direction, creation becomes effortless. You are no longer controlled by time, you command it. You are no longer a prisoner of circumstance, you become the architect of it. Organization is not control, it's creation with direction. And when you master it, you don't just live life, you design it. Success responds to structure, not emotion. Emotion may light the fire, but structure keeps it burning when motivation fades. The world is full of passionate people who start strong and fade quickly because they rely on how they feel instead of what they've built. Emotion is the spark, but structure is the system. It's the difference between a temporary rush and a permanent rise. Success does not bow to feelings. It obeys discipline, process, and order. You cannot build greatness on moods that change with the wind. You build it on a framework that stands even when the storms come. Emotion screams for results now, but structure builds results that last. Every dreamer has moments of inspiration, those late-night surges of ambition where everything feels possible. But the ones who win are those who wake up the next morning and follow a system even when the fire cools. The truth is simple. Passion starts the race. Structure finishes it. The heart ignites the vision, but the plan keeps it alive. Success doesn't care how excited you are. It rewards those who execute with precision day after day, regardless of mood, weather, or emotion. The man ruled by emotion works hard when he feels inspired, but the man ruled by structure works hard because it's time to work. One waits for the mood, the other moves with the plan. One depends on excitement, the other depends on systems. The difference between average and exceptional lies in that consistency. Emotion is temporary fuel. It runs out fast. Structure is the engine. It carries you even when the road is long and the fire inside flickers low. You cannot trust emotion to lead you. It's unstable, unpredictable, and easily swayed. Structure is the calm commander that leads you through confusion with unwavering direction. Every empire, every business, every transformation was built on structure. Look closely at anyone who has achieved something great, and behind their success you will find a blueprint, a set of habits, systems, and disciplines repeated endlessly. They don't rise because they always feel like it. They rise because they've built a life that doesn't depend on feelings to function. The unstructured man drowns in good intentions. The structured man turns intentions into results. Emotion is the voice of impulse, but structure is the language of mastery. Success is mathematical. It responds to patterns, not feelings. It doesn't reward enthusiasm, it rewards execution. If you track your goals, manage your time, and maintain your discipline, you will grow, no matter how uninspired you feel. But if you act only when emotion allows, you'll stay trapped in cycles of effort and collapse. The champions of life don't wake up every day motivated. They wake up organized. They have built a life that moves forward automatically because their systems carry them through emotional lows. Structure protects progress when inspiration dies. There's nothing glamorous about structure. It's repetition, scheduling, discipline, routine, the unromantic work that builds extraordinary lives. Emotion makes you dream of success. Structure makes you live it. Emotion wants results now. Structure builds them piece by piece. Emotion fades when things get hard. Structure stands firm, unshaken, consistent. When the thrill of the dream is gone, structure keeps you building. It doesn't ask if you feel like it. It reminds you of what you committed to. That's how success is created, not in the moments of excitement, but in the daily grind that most people abandon. The emotional person looks for motivation before moving. The structured person moves first, and motivation follows. You cannot wait to feel ready. You must move according to your plan. Feelings come and go, but systems stay. When you live by structure, your life no longer depends on emotional stability. You still feel highs and lows, but they don't control your direction. You're no longer swayed by mood. You're guided by method. That's the power of structure. It gives your purpose protection from your own emotions. Emotion makes promises. Structure delivers them. Emotion says, I will change. Structure proves it. Emotion says, I'll start tomorrow. Structure starts now. Emotion says, I'll do it when I'm ready. Structure says, I'll do it because it's scheduled. The difference defines destiny. Every great builder of life, from leaders to creators, understands this law. Emotion begins revolutions, but structure sustains them. Without it, the fire of ambition burns out in the cold reality of time. Success is not personal. It's procedural. It doesn't care who you are or how much you want it. It responds to order, to strategy, to systems. You can be emotional and lose, or structured and win. The choice is yours. Structure doesn't demand perfection. It demands consistency. And consistency multiplied by time produces greatness. You cannot negotiate with this truth. The world rewards those who show